All right.
This is the shot that's going to ruin my campaign for president.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Mike.
There, that's better.
It's good. I like it.
I think even louder. Hang on. Try another one so we
Okay,
get
one
this
more.
sound
How
right.
about math?
Yeah, let's do a math joke.
Okay.
Math nerve joke. Here we go.
Okay. Who's the other guy who invented calculus? Leibniz?
That's a new.
Leibniz, Gottfried Leibniz.
Okay, so
Yeah. That's a question.
some people think that he invented calculus,
Good. How about you?
but I'm with Newton. I think it's kind of derivative.
Ooh.
Hey, good.
Okay.
Now we got it. Thank you. Thank you. What's green and lives in a tree? Many things. Thank you. Thank you. What do you call a dinosaur three-way? A menage a triceratops. Thank you. Thank you.
You got to remember something. I haven't done this in a while. I got to look for something.
Right. I'm just trying to help you with your timing in case that happens. All right. We better get on the phone to the alligator and see what's going on.
I'll lend my phone. So they probably know your phone number.
Oh, yeah, they do know my phone number, but I don't know their number. I wonder if I can remember it. 352. Ma'am, please, in the back, no talking, ma'am. Thank you.
Oh my God, we have no biological females.
There are no biological females in the house tonight. Yeah, well, hang on. This might work out for us, okay? Because I just read in GQ magazine, Paul McCartney, undoubtedly doing some shenanigans to promote his new album, has revealed in GQ this week that he used to have adolescent jerk-off sessions with John Lennon. And it's not adolescent, I mean, you know, they were the Beatles at that time. Yeah, thank you. It's special. And this is great news. Apparently, they would talk about beautiful women of the day, like Marilyn Monroe, to stimulate each other. And then, of course, with that Beatles humor, you could just see John Lennon when he said, Winston Churchill. That's right. Beatles jerk off. MGQ. Our country's coming a long way. All right, let's call the alligator. How do we do this? I do this. 3-5. I don't know how to run this thing. What is this? Is this a phone or is this an abacus? Can you get this thing off the stage?
It's a phaser, Tom.
Yeah.
It's a communicator.
Bones. He's dead bones.
Flip it up. Do you call the alligator?
I'm a doctor, not an escalator. My favorite line, by the way. Thank you. I really do like the special effects. I think it adds a dimension to the show. Speaking of great comedy, ladies and gentlemen, I have to say, Greg Warner, Gainesville's funniest comedian, is here in the house back there. Greg, as you know, of all the comedians that have ever played this show, you are the only one that's managed to play where? The Apollo in New York. That's right. Yes, true story. And how many jokes did they let you get away with before they tossed you off the stage? 3? That's 3 more than I thought they'd give you. That's pretty good. So, okay, now you're overdoing the effects. But 3 more, yeah. So he played the Apollo. I've never played the Apollo.
Did you go easy or did they use the hook?
I mean, did they boo you? What was the joke you went out on? Can you tell it? You remember?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, we'll leave that alone then. I don't want to give away the act, though, because when you hear the humor from our friend Greg, you're going to be in stitches. Okay, let's call the alligator. I don't know why. I just like to call the alligator when I don't know what to do. I don't know what that is. That's a stick. Call the independent Florida alligator.
Interesting question. Lord King.
Listen. Siri or whatever, please call the independent Florida alligator in Gainesville.
Call the independent Florida alligator on 2700 SW 13th Street in Gainesville.
Sure. Yes, thank you. Okay. Now I think broadcasting this and recording it on YouTube might be illegal. I'm going to do it anyway, but I think it's illegal.
Yay.
Florida alligator. We are unable to pick up the call at this time.
They don't have time to do stories because they're students.
Or send an email to editor@alligator.
All right.
You don't know that, they might be.
So disappointed. I don't know, but they're never there, and they just write news feed. They're talking about the big movies. They don't do anything about local arts, do they?
I think they're in a back room talking about Marilyn Monroe and Winston Churchill.
I bet they are. Oh, yeah. There's a big circle jerk going around. I like the alligator because when they put out a story, everybody reads it. You know what I mean? Believe it or not. When I was staring into the mouth of Ted Cruz,
Sorry.
wow, that was cool. When I was staring into the mouth of Ted Cruz, the alligator wrote that story, and then somebody from Huffington Post called me on the phone to interview me.
Wow.
You know how long I've been doing performance art? Since 1984. I've never had any national coverage like that. And I come up with the idea to stare at a poster of Ted Cruz's face for 2 hours, and that's when the national press calls. That should give you a little bit of an idea of what's going on in this country and what they find interesting. You know, I've got to come up with another idea like that because it's great to have national press coverage. Your life changes. No, it doesn't. Nothing happens. You don't even get any more money. You get nothing. Anyway, all right, we better start the show. So here we are. The theme tonight, Reverend. What is the theme tonight? I forgot. We don't really care about the theme, but what is it anyway? Must have been something.
Cowboy's birthday.
Oh, Cowboy's birthday. Even Cowboy isn't here. I mean, he doesn't give a shit about the theme. Have you seen Cowboy?
I haven't actually.
I haven't either. Where's Granny? Granny, oh, she went to get some cigarettes or something, right? Yeah, Granny's our evangelist, if you don't know. So you're new to the show, right? You haven't been to the show before? You've been to the show before, haven't you? For real, the first time?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, no, we're gentle, we're fine, everything's fine so far. I don't know how it's going to be at the end, but right now we're cruising in A+ mode. So welcome to the show. This is the show. Usually it's not the show, but now it is. And this, you know, he's very, very good at the effects. And he's shooting me a bird while he's doing that, which is funny.
That's 2 fingers.
That's even worse. That's like 2 birds. But anyway, he's from Williston. Okay, so anybody can get into this show. Just kidding. Come on, have some fun. So,
smelly pirate hooker.
see the effects, Alan? How much they add to the show?
Yeah.
The show was so popular back in the day because he was there every night, and now look, it's just a sausage fest in here. Beatles got nothing on us. Let's get to work, fellas. You ready? Winston Churchill. Okay, just kidding. I'm making myself nervous
I
now.
wasn't playing with myself in the bathtub. I was just cleaning it and it went off.
He's psychic. How does he come up with this stuff so fast? It's making me nervous. All right, well, hopefully we'll have a woman to come to the show one day, and that would be so neat for us, you know, that we'll just sit around lonely. Anyway, all right, I'm having too much fun. So this is the show. Sorry, I apologize, but hey, you get what you pay for. So it's free to get in. It's an open mic kind of a show. It's kind of a church. We kind of do evangelism. For the Tabernacle, officially, we worship the sacred dumpster and Jamba, the great dumpster goddess. But we welcome anyone. It doesn't matter if you're Sufi, Muslim, Christian, Jewish, any whatever it is, any proclivity. If you don't worship anything, you're welcome into the Tabernacle of Hedonism. You can be completely agnostic. You can worship trees, the spaghetti monster, the Jedi. Doesn't matter. You are always welcome here. But Granny is our, I almost said Granny is our evangelist. She does pretty much the Jesus Christian bit, I think. Don't you think? Is that what she does mostly? Yeah. She brings that in, and that's cool. We like that. We do a little of that in the Tabernacle. We haven't done any Buddha. Is that religious? We kind of never talk about Buddha. I'd like to work him into the, and there goes the Reverend yawning. And now that's the end of the show. We're done. Can we get some Buddha in the opening monologue, Reverend? Would you cover the Buddha a little bit?
Yeah, Buddha is one of the religions in Russia.
Okay.
the Russians that are right next to the Muslim territory of China.
All right, say that all again. We were talking about
They have
Buddha.
They actually have Buddhists in that oblast, right next to China, right next to Kazakhstan.
Oh, that's great.
Myanmar, where they're oppressing the Muslims?
No, it's further north of there. It's in Siberia.
God, you guys are so smart. How do you
It's
know all
right
this
next
stuff?
to Mongolia, and they have Buddhists there.
Wow. Okay. Well, thank you for that, Reverend. I think that really helped. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's begin the show officially. What I'm going to do is I'm going to walk off the stage now because that was not the show. It couldn't be because it sucks. If that's the show, I don't ever want to do this again. So I'm going to go off the stage. Somebody's going to introduce me. And then, Michael, would you introduce me?
I'd love to.
Yeah. And then this is Michael Garvin, the Minister of the Interior and the best dressed of all the deacons. Give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Well, how does he do it? We'll hear about what he's wearing later on in the show. He does a segment called What is Michael Garvin Wearing? It's one of the most popular segments. As you can tell, we used to only have like nobody coming to the show, and now so many people have come to the show that we're going to have to get into a bigger room. But Alan has that plan, so don't worry about that. We'll fix that. All right. So I'm going off the stage, and Michael's going to introduce me, and then we're going to really start the show. Are we broadcasting to New Jersey, Reverend?
Yes.
Okay. Should we start it over? Make them come back again?
And Facebook.
YouTube and Facebook. All right. So we're going.
And you do have 3 viewers.
And we have 3 viewers. Okay. Good. So that makes a total of 7 people. This is really working. Oh, Mills? Hey, Mills.
Alexander Davidowski.
Alex, you lazy son of a bitch. You should be here in person.
And Patrick Gagan and David Shelton.
And Patrick and David's actually here and monitoring the show. He's still shooting me a bird. Looks like a bird from here. What's that?
And Mills Ryan gave you the number to the alligator.
Oh, thanks, Mills. We'll try him again later. I don't think they go to work. Oh, my God. It's a biological female. Shh. She's coming in. It's the Tabernacle Fairy.
Michelle.
The Tabernacle Fairy. Yeah. Yay.
Oh, we got a female.
Yay.
On the internet.
Finally. If there's a female on the internet, too?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. This show is becoming multicultural. Wow. Great news.
All right.
Great news. Thank you. The Tabernacle Fairy, everybody. Give her a round of applause. This is terrific. Hi. We need fairy blessings. How are you? Great to see you. Okay, no, we're not even doing the show yet. We're going to start it over.
I was going to ask if this was the show.
No, this is not the show. It was the show, and then I decided it wasn't because it was terrible.
Okay.
It was terrible. I started off talking about the Beatles jerking off with each other, and it went down from there. That's the best thing we did so far, and that was terrible. I don't even want to imagine that. Mainly because I've seen the cover of Two Virgins, so I don't want to see that.
That's not such a bad.
Yeah.
Like a circle jerk kind of thing.
Yeah. You want to join? Okay. Anyway, let's get this shoe on the road. All right, I'm going off the stage. Get some kind of theme music ready. You never know what he's going to do. I'm telling you, he's a genius. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here to introduce me, Michael Garvin.
Hello, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, Gainesville Zone, Tom Miller. Thank you very much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do the show. Let's get this show on the road. Woo! Greatest show in America.
Got 2 hearts.
All right. Okay, anyway, back where we were. All right, let's get to it.
Thank you for the hearts out there in the
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tabernacle of Hedonism in downtown Gainesville, Florida, home of the Fighting Gators and the Brain Institute. Yeah! Tonight, acts that perform stuff. Woohoo! Amazing. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage for the nerdiest joke you've ever heard, our nerdist.
All right, nerds, I need a category. Come on, geek out.
Outer space.
Outer space.
Otter space. Otter.
How about another species?
Yes, another species.
Another species from long ago.
Okay.
What did one Australopithecine female say to the other Australopithecine female?
What?
Look who's walking around semi-erect.
That's great. Oh, thank you. That's beautiful. That covered our all-male theme and some other things. That was almost meta in a way. Thank you for that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get religion. I thought there'd be an effect there. And whenever I want one, he doesn't do one. Thank you. Okay, that's all right. We're a little rusty. We'll get there. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage at the Tabernacle of Hedonism our spiritual leader, the one, the only, the Reverend Angel Dust for this week's sermon.
Thank you, Tabernacle of Hedonism. Hallelujah. Here at the Hardback Cafe and out there in Internet land. Hallelujah. 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 God is bless everyone. God is bless the garbage that is America.
Hallelujah.
It stinks.
Yay.
God has blessed Ronald Dump. He's a piece of trash.
Yay.
God has blessed the Republicans and the Demoblicans.
Yay.
They're all disposable. You mix them all up in the sacred dumpster, and what do you get? Compost. And that's why America is so great.
Right.
It's useless. And when you ferment it and you let it heat up to 180 degrees,
And that's coming.
and you sterilize itself, then you get compost. And you get the best marijuana in the world.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Doobie-topia is coming. I'm a believer.
And you can pledge allegiance to the flag and not feel guilty.
Hallelujah.
God has blessed everyone. And remember,
And take a knee.
go to Jacksonville Beach. Jump in the ocean naked. Smoke a joint. And remember, at that location, German U-boats shot down an Allied ship in 1943. In full view of all of the Jacksonians. And by jumping in to the ocean naked and getting stoned, if we were all naked, maybe there wouldn't be any wars, and you are helping to defend America.
Hallelujah. I'll smoke to that.
Without a gun, without bombs, and without chemical weapons, and without nuclear weapons, and without biological weapons, you are defending America. Hallelujah. That's really, really patriotic.
Yes.
Now, as you know, I am a Canadian. I am not an American because I smoked marijuana mixed up with tobacco in 6th grade. And that was trafficking narcotics. And that means I cannot be an American until they legalize marijuana here in Florida in 2020. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Goddess. Thank you, John Morgan. Hallelujah. God bless everyone. And in the meantime, even though legalization of marijuana is not on the ballot in 2018, we are still going to write in our candidate of choice for governor, marijuana.
Marijuana. Marijuana for governor.
And we will vote for marijuana in each runoff
Yes.
thereafter until marijuana is legalized. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Now, I was reading in the Gainesville Sun this morning, along with Where is Baldo? And it's all about what they're doing to the beaches. And it's called Get Platitudes on Water Supply. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Now, what it's saying in this here article is that
That there article? You mean that there article?
this there editorial,
This here article right there?
unnamed, anonymous,
Well, I'll be damned.
the opinion page of the Gainesville Sun, it says that we should not base our decision for governor based on party affiliation, but on their position on water issues. Okay.
So P-test them is what you're saying.
Well, basically, we have caverns of water, basically housing clean, cheap water that we can mine out of the ground.
The spice.
We have, of course, beaches, which attract tourists, shorebirds, sharks, manatees, porpoises, which must be protected.
Needles.
We also have Zika viruses,
That's what we need more of.
which are breeding in still standing water.
Great. That's good news.
Hallelujah. We also have the woolly aphid, hackberry aphid.
What?
He wins.
The woolly hackberry aphid,
What the hell was that?
which is now immune to malathion
Oh.
and taking over Gainesville.
Round up.
Hallelujah. What happens is they have honeydew at the end of them, and it exudes honeydew on your camellias, your Accord, your Honda Accord, your azaleas, and also on your mondo grass.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's another issue. We also have the red tides,
Oh, don't, yeah, those are bad.
and we have the prokaryones, this is when you take marijuana when you go over to Canada because you want to have some there, even though you bought it here in the United States, or vice versa. You bought marijuana in Canada and you want to bring it down here. As you know, marijuana is going to be legal in October. Hallelujah, God bless it. Canadian marijuana stocks are going haywire. They're going crazy. They're going up. Hallelujah. Brother Jared of Cannabis, his stock is going up. We're making money. We're increasing the GDP in Canada because of marijuana. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Because of all those public marijuana corporations. But we have the pro-carry-ons, those people that might want to be in favor of you carrying on the marijuana on the plane and bringing it to Florida.
Is there an extra fee for the carry-on?
Then they have the you carry-ons, the people who are carrying the marijuana on the plane down to Florida. And then they have the me carry-ons. And of course, the red tides are the me carry-ons.
Can the hackberries get on this ride or no? The aphids?
Yes, the woolly hackberries too.
Okay.
They are immune to malathion.
That's great to
But
hear.
that, of course, is a water issue.
Yes,
And that's
again.
where the red tides are coming from, the me carry-ons.
You've taken us full
Of
circle.
marijuana. So, how does our candidate help water issues?
By denying climate change.
Yay!
Actually, we produce lots of carbon dioxide. We actually consume carbon dioxide. Therefore, reducing the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere and slowing global warming. Also, because we grow on biomass plants, we grow the marijuana close to the biomass plant. There are less fossil fuels required to carry the biomass to the biomass plant because the marijuana is closer than the trees are. And it can be grown more quickly. You have these 40, 50, 60-foot marijuana trees which grow in maybe half a growing season, and then you have another growing season, and you can grow another crop of 60-foot marijuana trees for the biomass plant.
You should rotate in some soybeans or something.
And on these organically grown marijuana fields, which provide biomass for the biomass plants, you have the trickle-down effect. You've heard of the trickle-down effect?
No. What is that?
It's a monetaristic theory. You have water going into the marijuana fields and it trickles down into the aquifer.
And the poor people benefit.
Well, the poor people benefit because they get clean water.
And the life that lives there in the river benefits because it gets high.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. It's got some of those delta-9 cannabinoids going through
Right
into
on.
the aquifer.
I knew that.
And with luck, a few delta-8 cannabinoids. Hallelujah, God is blessed.
Is this the show?
This is great.
And that is how, this is how we have, actually, we help the water supply. Because if marijuana is legal here in Florida, we won't have to have me carry-ons bringing marijuana down here to Florida, making red tides. We can have basically, we can have our own marijuana down here.
Let's hear it for the Reverend, everybody. Good job, Reverend.
As you know, I am a botanist, and I was listening to a physicist on NPR radio today stating that his one qualm about physics is that there is not enough incentive for physicists to make science and physics accessible to the public. I am a botanist. I was educated as a botanist, and I am trying to make botanical issues, particularly pertaining to meat carry-ons and marijuana, accessible to the public so that they can vote correctly in 2020 and 2018.
Marijuana for governor.
And I'm hoping that I don't lose any of my credibility in the process. Thank you, Jesus.
I find you incredible.
Thank you.
Incredible. Unbelievable.
Okay, are there any special prayers here?
Madonna.
Madonna.
Oh, damn it.
That beat you? I'm sorry.
How about for Cowboy? It's his birthday.
Yeah, let's pray that Cowboy shows up to his birthday party, even though I don't have his CDs for him.
Let's pray for more people coming to church.
Yes, more
More
people.
people coming in.
All across Florida, you have all of these churches, and every day on Sunday, you have these people who are over 70, and there's maybe 3 of them in the pews.
More old people at the Tabernacle.
Okay.
Well, we need just more people.
Okay, more people of all kinds and also older people.
Yeah. More people need to come to church, especially the Tabernacle of Hedonism.
Some younger people and some people that are in the middle age, and also people from the Middle Ages.
Right. Hi.
Reverend, to extend that, I think we need a general prayer for overpopulation. We need more people on this planet.
Yeah. No.
Let us have a special prayer for the 30 million people who will be coming to Florida by 2050.
Sounds good.
At this point, we only have 20 million, but we will have 50 million.
Point of order. I'm
And-
sorry. Point of order. I'm pretty sure we've agreed we want to get rid of people. There's too many people, and that's why we support the Zika virus. So this is a total opposite idea, and I don't like to hear ideas that go against what I believe.
Well, that's going to prevent us from having 150 million.
Oh, I see. Okay, I've changed my mind.
So you're back, you now think 50 million is a good number.
I'd like to not have the Zika virus and more
Okay,
people.
special prayers that we have 50 million people in Florida
Yes. Underwater in Miami.
People for Zika to kill.
who
Right.
have been
That's the point, dude.
controlled,
That's our
dwindled down
commonality.
from 150 million because of the Zika virus.
Zika would have more people to kill if there were more people here. That's the common thing. That's the thread. That's where we agree.
Yeah,
If other people could do what we're doing right here in church, this could be a free country.
and the reason why we support Zika viruses is that they can vote, and they will vote for marijuana for governor in
Yes.
2018.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Any other special prayers?
Carol Brady. I mean Florence Henderson. Hurricane Florence.
Okay, all of them. Hallelujah. Our Mother,
Our Mother,
who grow us,
who grew us,
the greatest art
The greatest art.
Up there in the Ojangosphere.
Up there in the Ojangosphere.
Under the influence.
Under the influence.
Of the domestic.
Of the domestic.
That they trim up there.
That they trim up there.
Officer friendly.
Officer friendly.
Please forgive me.
Please forgive me.
For my me carry on.
For my me carry on.
Which I brought back from Canada.
Which I brought back from Canada.
And purchased legally.
And purchased legally.
Purchase legally.
And I hope
I hope
she doesn't find anything else suspicious.
she doesn't find anything else suspicious.
I'm pretty sure Jesus put it there.
I'm pretty sure Jesus put it there.
He died for all of our drug deals,
He died for all of our drug deals,
crack pipes,
crack pipes,
whiffers.
whippers,
What are the weaver? What are the things you do? Whippets,
Amyl nitrate. Amyl nitrate.
mollies,
mollies,
Reds, blues.
reds, blues,
Methamphetamines.
all of them.
goofballs forever.
Goofballs forever. All of them. If she
All
finds any of them in my car, I surely hope that she takes into consideration my plea that I am innocent because Jesus died for all of them, all of my possessions. And I will testify to this in a court of law, and I will be adjudicated, vindicated, and hopefully Baker acted, which means more drugs. For thine is the cow pie, the rain, and the shroom, a man, a woman, a fairy, a joint goddess bless. Hallelujah.
The Reverend Angel Dust, everybody. The Reverend Angel Dust. I think we have another. Okay, throughout the evening, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be having geek jokes. Is that what it is? Geek jokes?
Geek jokes, nerd jokes.
Nerd jokes. And here is our resident nerdist with our latest nerd joke. I just like saying our nerd.
So, Reverend, you inspired me with botany. Reminded me of the algae who she noticed this guy looked like he was a fun guy. So they got together, they kind of took a liking to each other.
Thank you, very good. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get serious about religion. She's been coming to our show for a couple of years now, actually. Isn't that right? And she is our true evangelist. And we expect you, since you got in for free, to pay her some money. And I don't mean pay her for her evangelism. I mean tithe, because what you give, you will get back tenfold by way of karma. But don't give it to get it. Give it because it's the right thing to do. I don't even have $1. Even I, who live under the train tracks over on 6th Street and work very diligently to, no, I'm just kidding. I did live under a building once for a while. I didn't like it, but I did it because that's the way it was coming down. But you can always face anything that's coming at you with two things, positivity, and I'll let our evangelist tell you the other. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Granny.
The other one is faith.
Right on.
Faith in your higher power. He says a mustard seed of faith. Well, my mustard seed got this big. So, if it works for me, it'll work for everyone. It has to be a true faith. Something that you solely believe in here, not in your pocket, not in your mind. I want to thank y'all for being here. And Tom, I keep you up in prayer at all times.
Thank you, Granny.
Because God made you special. Because when people are down, you bring laughter to them. You let them see that there's two sides of every coin. Our Heavenly Father, I thank you for this place, for the owner, bartender. I thank you for Reverend Angel Dust and for Tom Miller. Father God, I ask you to lift each and every one that's in here up today. Give them peace inside, Father God, letting them know that you're real and that you love them. For Father, you are special, and you made us special. And I thank you for it. Father, I also ask you, help their families, Father God, for there's someone in here who's got a member of their family that's ill. I'm asking you now, heal them so it'll be your will. Be with them every step of the way. If it not be their will, give them peace of mind to whatever outcome comes about this person. Father, I thank you for the love that you show me, where I can spread it around to each and every one. Because to me, these people are very special. And they are to you because you made them original. I thank you, Lord, and I ask you to be with them every step of the way as they step to and from this place. All in the name of Jesus. Amen. I thank y'all for being here. I thank y'all for loving me and accepting me for who I am. I'm nobody special. I'm just a child of God, a vessel, as we each are. When you know what your vessel is supposed to be about, then you'll be used to it. But you gotta let go and let God. Love y'all. Have a good night.
Granny, everybody, give her a round of applause. And that is the right message at the right time. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now help her out. If you got $1, it's going to go to a good cause, you know. Just pull $1 out. That's all you have to do if you've got one. Can't be a church if you don't give up some money. It's free to get in, you know. So there something fell on the floor, a whole bunch of money. Grab that fast. Thank you, Granny. Thank you, Granny. All right. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I cannot withhold this act any longer. You're in for a treat. I recommend the people outside need to probably see this. Well, I guess we have everybody in here. Nelson, you're going to love this. I'm talking about a comedian who has literally put me into the fetal position in laughter on the floor. I'm talking about a comedian who has performed at the Apollo Theater and actually managed to get 3 jokes off before they told him to get out, which is really good, by the way. Usually they don't let you on the stage, and if you get 1 joke, you win. 2 jokes, you're victorious and you're the king, and then 3 jokes, you're a legend. I think you're the funniest comedian in Gainesville. I know some people don't get your humor, but I get every joke, inside and out. And I hope not to be on the floor in the fetal position again, but if I am, I'm going to enjoy every minute of it. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the one, the only, the funniest, hang on, Greg, I'm just going to hold this off until these other people come in here. Is that the Tabernacle Choir?
Yes, it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the entire Tabernacle Choir. Hey, how are you? Thank you. Representing the American Canadian Indian, the Tabernacle Choir. All the members of the Tabernacle Choir are in the body of this one individual who is an expert at creating Tabernacle Choir music on the fly, concluding each Tabernacle show with a message of peace, love, and anything else he wants to say. I hope that was okay. I just made that up.
Okay. I need to run to the bathroom. Can we just hold on for a while?
Yes, I'm going to hold. We're now holding for Michael Garvin to go to the bathroom.
No running in the building.
Yeah, don't run, Michael. You're going to hurt yourself or others. Does anybody want to get up and get a drink now? Because this would probably be a good time. Yeah, we better get drinks. Yeah, just keep that running until Michael gets done with his little piddle in there. Did I mention this is the best show ever in the entire world? And I can't believe, but I'm happy to say that more people don't come to it at the same time. Did I mention that this is the longest continuously running live open mic show in America. That's actually true. You can look that up on the internet. That's what I know. It's actually true. We've been doing this show longer than the entire run of All in the Family. And if The Simpsons stops tomorrow, we've been doing this show longer than The Simpsons. But right now, it's us and The Simpsons. So we'll see how it goes. Does anybody want to jerk off? Or just kidding. It's just a joke. Speaking of, Michael, what are you doing in there? Wow, that timed out perfectly. Mike Garvin, everybody. His bladder is empty now. Biological functions here at the Tabernacle of Hedonism. Great news, great news. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I can hold this off no longer. Please welcome to the stage Gainesville's funniest comedian with all new material, or mostly new material, while some of the jokes are new. God, this introduction just goes on and on. Please welcome to the stage, and I believe I've said that already, the one, the only, he's played the Apollo, 3 jokes there, I might have mentioned, Greg Warner. Greg Warner. Yeah!
Greg Warner, everybody! Greg Warner!
All right, you guys like a band called Judas Priest?
Yeah.
They got a song called "You Got Another Thing Coming." I think that's foreplay for Rob Halford and his boyfriend.
Probably so.
A perfect square, is that a mathematical equation, or are they talking about George W. Bush? I'm sorry, Sonia. I'm sorry, Sonia. All right, there's this girl in the store, and she's like the 3rd straight lesbian to work in there. No pun intended. She said, have some fun with bananas. Well, if she knew anything about bananas, she wouldn't be a lesbian.
Whoa. Oh my God. Wow.
Marion Barry wasn't trying to do anything wrong. He just wanted a piece of the rock. Rob Ford is dead, but at least he left office on a high note. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I said supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Yes.
I think he's quite precocious.
He's amazing.
Engelbert Humperdinck. Engelbert Humperdinck. Say it 3 times.
Engelbert Humperdinck. Engelbert Humperdinck. Engelbert Humperdinck.
Engelbert Humperdinck.
Engelbert Humperdinck.
Titty titty bang bang. You know, Ted Bundy gave this interview where he said he wasn't a weirdo, but I mean, can you really say that about a guy that has sex with dead women?
This is great. It's good stuff. Old apple.
The tree came down and I said, "Ow!" That's what happens every time one comes down. They call it heavy metal, but again, I think that's what Rob Halford is talking about when he's approaching his boyfriend. We call it heavy metal. He calls it something else.
Oh, sorry.
This retarded guy asked me for some help, and I couldn't help but think, you need more help than I can give you.
Yeah. We learned that.
This guy, my neighbor, has a barbecue. I wanted to ask him if he could cook my meat, but I didn't know how to say it without it coming out wrong.
Yes. No rim shot sound effects guy?
No, he doesn't need any rim shots.
Okay.
He's so good.
Is it me or is that dog bitchy? I'm sorry, Tina, take me back! Sorry, I thought your name was Tina. It's actually Sonia, or something like that.
She put the shorts on, cut up your booty.
The funny thing is that George W. Bush was trying to think, and that's what all this, and a volcano erupted. I asked this marijuana dealer for change in quarters, and he gave me a dime bag. That's all I have. Thank
Greg Warner, Gainesville's funniest comedian, ladies and gentlemen. Oh God. Woo! Oh boy, wow. That was firing on all cylinders there, Greg. Some deep comedy. Not everybody gets it, but I got it all. It's really fantastic stuff. Thank you. All right, let's just call the alligator again. See what's happening.
Was it time to call the alligator?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Oh.
Doesn't matter. Hey Siri, do you want to destroy humanity?
I don't know how to respond to that.
It's good news for us. Siri, what's my name?
Your master, but you asked me to call you Lord King, Master of the Universe, Tom Miller.
Okay, everything's fine. Call the Independent Florida Alligator, please. There's got to be somebody over there.
I don't see any Independent Florida Alligator in your contacts. Should I look for businesses with that name?
Yes, please. Just give me a minute. I'm talking with my
Call the
brain.
Independent Florida Alligator on 2700 SW 13th Street in Gainesville.
Yes, please.
Calling the Independent Florida Alligator.
Sorry, I need to take a minute from that comedy. That worked me hard. I mean, I'm still wrapping my head around what just I experienced here. The show's gotten better, hasn't it, David? I mean, it's amazing, isn't it? You okay?
Yeah.
Something happened? Okay. Oh, hello? 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 Is this the recording? That's so depressing. Okay, now that we've got a roll going, we better have some music. I want to acknowledge Lady Chase, who's with us tonight. Lady Chase is a fabulous performer, comedian, drag queen extraordinaire, and served honorably in our military, I might add. He's a Navy SEAL. And unfortunately, she's in a different form this evening than normal because she was run over by a teenager who was texting on her phone in a big truck. And Chase was in a scooter, because Chase was the kind of person that would drive all the fucking way to your show on a scooter for an hour and back. But Chase continues to come to the show because you can't, first of all, you can't put down a Navy SEAL in America. Yeah. And let's hear it for Lady Chase in that small cup there.
All right, Jerry.
Is there an image of Chase there? Yeah, in Chase's corporal form, that's not a rank, by the way, that's a word we use to describe when you're in physical form there. But Chase is looking, lost some weight, as you can see, which I think Chase wanted to do. And thanks for coming, Chase. How are you? It's great. You don't hold any grudge against that girl that ran you down, do you? That's the kind of person we all need to be. In fact, that's the kind of person we all will be, if you know what I'm saying. Chase, you're still funny as hell. I love you, Chase, and thank you for all the great years and the continued years of enjoyment and entertainment. We'll continue to be funny and absurdist in your honor and beyond. Lady Chase, everybody, thank you. All right. I'm just going to go over and get the set list now. We're going to attempt to actually do the show, because we haven't been doing the show yet, but now we're going to try to do it. So Tapeworm, where are you from? You better get up here and do something, because Tapeworm's new to the show. Hasn't run out of the building screaming, so he might be our kind of people. We'll find out. But anyway, and so can I mic that up for you? It looks like you want to just sit on the chair. You don't have to get on stage. You do anything you want. We'll work with you. All right. So without further ado, let's see what happens when Tapeworm takes the stage. And that's worm with an E, by the way.
So raise your glass. So raise your glass if you
I'll give you a mic here. And you want to do any cuts or anything? Or you want to
No, I think it'll be all right.
Tapeworm, we know it's gotta be good.
I feel good about this place. I feel like I can talk about anything.
You certainly can. You can move that however. Let me know if you need any help with anything. Tapeworm, everybody. Give me your respect. Give him your respect. Don't talk over the acts.
9/11. After 9/11, when Osama bin Laden was #1 on the FBI's most wanted list, #2 was James Whitey Bulger. This song is not about Whitey Bulger. It's not about the Irish mob. It's not about the Winter Hill Gang so much, but it's about Whitey Bulger's car. And the reason is because I was watching Toxic Avenger, and I'm going on, and I found a really cool sound clip about a car. So I figured the next thing I got to do, because I recorded it on here, is a song about a car. This is about Whitey Bulger's car. Let's see. It appeared to be just a Chevy Malibu, codename the tow truck, so souped up. When he drove the ground, removed 900 horses under the hood, up to no good down the avenue. Equipped to drop oil slicks and shoot out fog in case of a pursuit. When Whitey decided who was gonna die to life or doom, and depending on his mood, he used different kinds of abuse. Hitler Brian was talking to the FBI and disapproved. Although Whitey was also an informant, the FBI informed him too. They filled him in, that's how he knew Brian's time was overdue. They filled Brian with holes along with his friend Michael Donahue. The next day, a description of the hit car was in the news. Now, it can no longer be used to commit brutal execution. The killer was sad to lose his killing machine. He bought a new one, that's the most effective method for improving attitude. Socks were red, heads were blue. Those days of Boston, Massachusetts, loan shark rates were through the roof. That summer, 1982.
Wow.
Tapeworm was going to admit when he was wrong. Apparently, Tapeworm has been wrong this whole time about Nike. So, you'll see me wearing Nikes next week. Alright, this song is about World War II vet that came back. And in 1949, he committed one of the first mass shootings. Well, I mean, unsanctioned mass shootings, because really, this country was kind of built on mass shootings. So, 1949, my friend Bert of the punk rock band, Humboldt Punk Rock Cross Contamination, wrote the guitar part for this song when we were in a band together. Hopefully, I can remember. Growing up, he attended church regularly. Same routine, nothing out of the ordinary. Got a high school Howard, joined the military. World War II, learning heavy artillery. He earned medals from bravery, sharpshooting, no guts, no glory. His diary was quite gory, his guns were clean. He went from being a hero to a nobody back in New Jersey. Paranoia, PTSD, adapting poorly. And now he can't wait for World War III. Reason him building his neighbors unneighborly. He wrote a shitless, built a fence around his property. But someone stole the gate, initiating this bloody morning. Time stopped at 9:20 with no warning. From the store of the shoe store, cobbler John was the first of 13. Morris Smith was Nick's just 6 years old, shot dead at his mother's scream. The barber Clark was third degree Morris, the stoplight waiting for green ran beyond the elderly. With no mercy, he just couldn't wait for World War III. Cold lifeless bodies literally littering the sidewalks and street, friends and family on their knees. And the only sure thing was misery. And like a bad dream of catastrophe. The Howard, on the contrary, a party, not a killing spree. He went home out of bullets, in no big hurry. And now his house surrounded Howard, walking out surrendering, saying to the mental institution by the jury. And now he really can't wait for World War III. He might actually get what he wants, the way things are going these days. But he would be like 97 today if he's even alive. Howard Unruh. And this happened just 69 years ago last week. 1949 last week was the day. Anyway, I got religious now. This song is about Mormonism.
Yes.
And the song is about September 11th in 1857. Wait, I gotta flip the tape. You gotta flip the tape.
Yeah. Flip the tape. No hurry. It's all good. I love it when new people come to the Tabernacle. Wasn't it nifty? Yeah. Especially when they're good.
Oh, this is great. I'll be back.
Anytime. You're welcome back. You're on the A-list.
All hail the dumpster gods.
Yeah.
This was about the Mormons. 1857, when the Mormon Church massacred over 100 innocent women, men, children. 1857, together many families left Arkansas. The Hayden, the Smith, the Cameron, the Painters, the Kids, and the Scots, northwest to the Black River Pass. Independence Rock, and dozens of wagons with more than 1,000 livestock. Exhausted in August, they crossed into Utah. The Great Salt Lake was not such a great place to stop. Mormons were already distraught. One of their apostles had been shot. Rumors and disrespectful talk. The drought was dry and hot. Eggs hatched plagues of grasshoppers that ate up their crops. Lessons of God's law were taught. Judgment was brought. They lied to the pioneers, told them hell is tighter, they might kill us all. Meanwhile, the wagon train supplies were getting low. The well-armed saints along the trail would sell them no food. If the sympathetic wife tried, she might have a knife held to her throat. Brigham Young was big on guns and blood and trauma to be used to get the churches moved. They left town headed southwest. Hungry though they could take a hint. It was time to go. Friday the 4th they arrived at Mountain Meadow. A feeling of hope of greener water flow. Set up camp, they planned to see a week or so. 9 nights smell like sagebrush and juniper smoke. Sunday the 6th Methodist church service and it's always out in the open desert plain below. Busy morning at daybreak the sun was sunshine out of the people's time. Panic drove 7 people dead and burned. 6 followed Saturday Saints and war bank when he said go back slow. September 8th, the dead livestock began to smell. September 9th, this paradise had gone to hell. September 10th, well, they made an attempt to go get help. We snuck across the line, find that night, but they got shot by the high priest himself. In Cedar City, a public meeting was held. They prayed until they felt it could be called. God's will most had agreed. Prophecy would be fulfilled to purify the world. Gentiles that must be so claiming. It wasn't endorsed by Christ and the gospel commissioned by the church, blamed by the high council. God even came from his disguise into civilian. Was to walk with William Bacon down in the white line. God, you need to see what's true. False sense of security wasn't till they told them if they gave up, they would not be killed. They gathered all their rifles, put them in a pile. Had the women and children line up single file. In the midst, the death march proceeded half a mile, escorted by the militia. After high noon, a hot Friday with not a cloud in the sky. Major Hickey commended from the nearby. Men in the back of the line were the first to die. Then the women and children were attacked with knives. Sarah Jane, Mary Baker, just 2 of 10 dozen lives taken by mercenaries. Mormons in disguise. September 11th, church-sponsored mass homicide. 121 men, women, children died. No escape, though some tried, ran with nowhere to hide. Murdered by the saints of the Church of Jesus Christ, with an oath that the truth would always be denied. Would always be denied. Utah 1986, Sunday, November 22nd, the Mormon family party gets a little weirder when Jason got the headache. Lord knows he thought he was just so in touch with God in heaven. He saw the signs while watching Mary Poppins. Jason got a headache, pulled his wife from the ground to 11-month-old son Paul. They said they're good fighters, they said to get some rest, but Jason just got more obsessive. They go home and the rest of the movie. Jason felt special, no one else saw the connection. Mary Poppins reflected, he thought his faith was true, just like when Abraham was tested. But did he love the Lord as much as Abraham did? Was a question. Stabbing his infant son Paul in the liver, he bled and bled all over the head. It was dressing table. They said he was dead. Jason calmly promised the resurrection. He would receive less than 3 years in an institution to teach his teacher a lesson. Meanwhile, back to the transgression. Jason vomiting out blessing. The phone rang. It was the medics, but what they needed was an exorcist. Congregation possessed with the God complex. Nature is suppressed, and the sickness spreads. Alright, that was 2 different Mormon songs. Time for one more?
Yeah, one more. Alright, one more for sure.
Because is that Beatles thing for real?
That's a real thing. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Just check it out.
That's pretty awesome. So
Good for them.
A circle jerk made for 2.
this one is loosely connected to the Beatles. To be jailed, prison, half his life in institution. Manson went to San Francisco. That's when he recruited Susan Atkins. Another dude thought he looked exactly like Jesus. His hair all nappy, Lucy, and the sky with dandelions. Drinking from unhappy flower children, namely Sandy. The nomadic called they had to leave. They called themselves a family. Charlie was their father, and he couldn't have to do any damn thing. And unspoken understanding, sex and drugs. Who was happy? Tarked over, Goomba was clapping. In the dry window, just valley is Satan is taking its sarcastic evil magic spell that actually seemed to have taken form in Charlie. The war he was planning with a little help from his friends. They tried to frame the Black Panther, sort of like President Nixon. He ain't no lover and he ain't no dancer. Political pity was written in the blood of Kerry. Enemy, terrorist destruction, forgiveness, Watson. Maybe the chief lieutenant, they're gonna do the devil's business on a creepy crawling mission. A home invasion, 5 were viciously attacked by man suspended. For what is the 6 to each out, sharing takes unborn child as a victim. Bobby were slaughtered, lit up, and the word war carved in him. With a fork stuck in his stomach, death to the pig, spelled out with his blood. Investigators still to make this obvious connection. They just thought it was a copycat. The walls could talk, but they wouldn't listen. Beach Boy Dennis Wilson, let them crash in his house, an accident. When the flat was his $21,000 bill into a mouth. The truth came out about those involved in the killings the neighbor mentioned. Frank Sinatra and Elizabeth Taylor were on the hit list. The case became the biggest thing since our answer and shot Kennedy. The family calling Charlie dropped the second crucifixion. Helter Skelter paralleled the Vietnam War, the real affliction. Newspapers and television diverting public attention. Crackpot racist chauvinistic plot to bring on Armageddon. And a court clutching the pencil. Charlie jumps in 10-foot distance. The pallet bill tackles him just a few feet from the judge's bench. His true colors were Oh, I ran out of steam. Oh, thanks for listening.
Round of applause, everybody.
So raise your
Man, that's so original. I've never heard anything like it. I really appreciate you being here. You never know what to expect. Yeah. I'd like to generally try to encourage the crowd not to talk full volume in front of the acts because it's not actually a television show. Yeah.
One more.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You ready for another one? Okay. Yeah. Hey, when you get done planning your fucking date, you want to watch the show or get the fuck out? Not you, the fairy. Besides, I have you on my list. I'm talking to, come on, be quiet, in the middle of the show, for God's sakes. Jesus Christ, I just want to kill myself. Manners is the whole reason we're fucking everything up in this world, you know that? Hey, Tabernacle, hey, shut up, man. What the fuck's wrong with you? I'm not talking to you, and I'm not talking to you either. I'm talking to me. No, really, respect the stage a little bit. You don't just shout over the acts and turn your back on. Jesus Christ, what do you think this is? Some kind of bar where you can just come and drink and stuff? It's that fun. I'm going to talk over your piano act, man. You'll see. I'll get you back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the resident nerdist to give us yet another nerdly joke, and this time it's going to be in a completely different discipline. Let's see what happens. All right, here we go. Just fucking with you. Come on, here we go.
So I'm thinking like
Quiet, the nerdist is show.
maybe history and then some history Shakespeare crossover. So I don't know if any of you all heard this, but when Count Dracul got his nickname, Vlad the Impaler, he exclaimed, "Impaler? I don't even know her!" Now, so history Shakespeare, Brutus and Julius decide they're going to play a game of battleships. A2, Brute?
Boy, that one left me long.
Battleship. Now he got it. I love it.
We all got it. We just didn't get it good.
Okay.
Go on, give me the good one.
Okay. So they've just discovered, historians recently discovered, Christopher Marlowe and William Shakespeare were into BDSM.
Oh?
Yeah. In fact, you may have heard this. The bards of a fetter flogged together.
Great stuff. That's right on topic tonight. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
and good night.
Yeah, you think the Beatles invented it, but everything has its history in Shakespeare, we know. So don't ever, ever underrate Shakespeare. We're all using words he came up with to this very day. Speaking of people who might know about Shakespeare, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Michael Garvin, the best dressed of all the deacons, for his bit he likes to call, "What is Michael Garvin wearing and what does Michael know?" Michael Garvin, everybody. Do you have some nice ambient kind of J.C. Penney's mall elevator music there?
That's exactly what I'm in the mood for.
Yeah, just nice and quiet.
Or that Quincy Jones thing.
Yeah.
The Austin Powers.
Right.
We don't want to give it too much care.
Right. By the way, I just want everybody to know that when I wear this hat, I look exactly like Neil Peart. Thank you. Hi, Fairy. You know, I'm just fucking with you, right? I'm not serious. I just like to have fun with everybody. Not in the gay way, but I mean.
You're very open about your fairiness.
Yeah. I know, I love you. You're coming on. Do you have a thing to do, Fairy?
I think I do.
Okay, cool. Well, here we go. Let's move along quickly with the show because we've only got, it's only 11 o'clock. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Garvin. Nice and quiet on the music. Michael Garvin, what are you wearing? Oh,
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. What am I wearing today? Wearing a linen jacket with a French linen red hanky and a silk tie made in this country, as Tom can verify right here.
Yay.
Made in the USA, everybody.
USA.
Lilac cotton shirt, black leather dead man belt. Oh, just checking, yeah. It's a Pentecostal preacher belt. He's been long dead. If you note the high-waisted pleated pants, straight out of the 80s.
You can wear the
Japanese.
man. You can do it. Work it.
Second hand.
Work it, boy.
Italian socks. Italian Colehan shoes, but if you look at the heel, it's a Nike heel. It's a Nike heel.
Nike heel, burn it.
Nike heel.
Burn it.
Well, normally we would burn it, but now we're on the different sides.
You would burn items made by innocent children?
Actually, these were made by craftsmen, allegedly. Let's move on to the next part.
Thank you. That was, what was Michael Garvin wearing? We'll have new music for the next segment. Okay.
Welcome.
And now, if our resident genius here, sound effects and everything, Broadway Dave, you'll be seeing Broadway Dave singing and doing hand dancing tonight. So don't think the show is going downhill here. This is actually
I implore everyone to remain here.
Yeah, this is in cinema what we call the turning of events, something like that. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Garvin has an exceptionally brilliant mind. And he knows a great many things about a great many things that we don't know a great many things about as a collective audience. Therefore, in the spirit of learning, in the spirit of teaching, we shall ask Michael what he knows, and thereby learn more about ourselves and each other. Okay, who's going to do the first topic?
What do you know, Mike?
Yes.
The Battle of Kosovo of 1838.
Battle of Kosovo, 1838.
Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Garvin, the Battle of Kosovo. What was the year again?
1838.
1838.
1838, not 1389.
Little ambient music there, if you got it.
1838, it was fought between Serbian insurgents and an army dispatched by Constantinople, resulting in the splitting of the Serbian, well, basically had one Serbian guy become Peter I, Peter Karađorđe, and Branković, who later betrayed him, cut off his head and sent it to the Turks as good faith. It basically resulted in Serbia becoming a nation.
Incredible! Is there a follow-up?
How would you say it relates to modern Serbian nationalism?
It's pivotal. It's pivotal. There's no, there was no Serbia from the first Battle of Kosovo, 1389, till the second Battle of Kosovo, 1838. There was no Serbia. Next question.
Jesus Christ! How do you know this shit, Michael? It's incredible. Okay, you had one, didn't you? You're the nerdist, so you should come up with one. What have you got? Challenge Michael, get in his head.
To the best of my knowledge, the first recorded genocide is in the Old Testament.
Michael, your thoughts on the first recorded genocide?
Crew, I'm aware of what we would now call genocide occurring, in Egyptian hieroglyphic, basically, which predates the Bible by millennia. And interestingly, there's evidence of consistent genocide 13,000 years ago in the Sudan.
Wow.
Actually, not far from Darfur, where genocide is still going on. And interestingly, it actually seems to be race-based. One group was physically different than the other. First, archaeological evidence of genocide. Third question.
Amazing. Michael is really taking it to you. We'll take one more and only one. But let's go in maybe we'll take two. Hold on to that one, because you're kind of on staff, so I'd like to hear from the audience. And then we'll go. Yes, in the back, what have you got?
Car nerd question. Either you tell me about the noble automobile or steam cars in America.
Hold on, what was the first one? I got steam.
Can we turn the music down just a little bit? It's really good music, though.
The noble automobile. Noble automobile.
Noble automobile?
Yeah, car called the
Okay.
D-O-B-L-E.
I've heard of it. I know it didn't catch on. I know it was named after a man named Noble, but you mentioned steam-powered automobiles.
Yes.
Believe it or not, the first automobile, the first machine we can call an automobile was steam-powered, and it was from the 1680s.
Wow.
This is the intro. Okay, just give me a minute here, Tom.
Take your time, Michael. This is your bit.
A Jesuit missionary to the Emperor of China in the 1680s. His name was Ferdinand Berbiest. He was a Jesuit father. To amuse his master, the Emperor of China, he created a small steam-powered cart. We call it a go-kart today. Interestingly, generals in the Chinese army considered turning this into a war device. But after a few drinks, they realized it's completely ridiculous to think that such a thing would actually replace men on horseback. So we didn't hear anything more from, and it was so small you could only maybe fit like, a dwarf, a eunuch dwarf on it. It wasn't that big. So for the next 100 years, we hear nothing about steam-powered cars. And then slowly some French engineer, I think his name was Carnot, came up with one. And then another guy in the 19th century. Then Auguste Diesel comes up with diesel fuel and the diesel engine. And there's Reverend car, gives his name to the car. And the rest is history.
Great stuff, Michael. You're winning. You're firing on all steam cylinders tonight. We've got time for one more quick one from the Tabernacle of Hedonism Choir. Yes.
This will be the one that fucks me up.
Probably.
Okay. How long did it take your army to ride to Little Bighorn, and why did they lose the war?
Okay.
Thoughts on Little Bighorn is the question, and here we go with Michael Garber. Thank you.
Little Bighorn. Okay.
A staff question.
The first question you asked me, I don't know if I can really know the answer to that. I know it transpired in a matter of days.
From Battle Creek, Michigan.
That's right. But my understanding is that there was a misunderstanding between Custer and Major Benteen. So the 7th Cavalry was led by Custer, Colonel Custer. He was a general in the Civil War, but then they knocked him down to a colonel because it was really no standing army.
Hang on, can I interject there? Sure. Me, Mr. Custer, gets in the pub, jerks off in the dark.
What the hell were we talking about? Oh yeah, Little Battle of Big
Not together.
So, my understanding is that Custer stormed the Little Battle of Bighorn, having been told by Major Benteen that there was not a large force of Lakota Sioux coming in there. In other words, they thought it was just going to be a skirmish, and they found themselves surrounded by multitudes.
Every tribe that was up there.
Yeah, well, not just Lakota Sioux, but their allies as well. Yeah. So that's yeah. So I think I partly answered that.
It was definitely, we were in the ballpark, Michael. How about it for Michael Garvin? There's a reason he's the Minister of the Interior, and you just saw it, ladies and gentlemen. Also, he designed the look of everything in this room. This piano is not even an actual piano. This is a paper mache construction that Michael spent several years putting together, and it strangely enough, it actually plays.
That's right. Oh my God, it's Mark Mizell.
Oh, the bus let off. Now,
Mark Mizell.
That's all right. We still have shows. We still have shows.
Have a sausage
We don't
party.
say the name. We don't say the name yet.
No, we can't.
Good evening. Good evening. Welcome. Welcome. Hook up, have beers, and so forth. And you haven't missed the best of the show. You've missed a lot of the best of the show, but you haven't missed the best of the show. We'll take a 5-minute break for our new friends to get situated. Their bus just let off. And we'll be right back with the Tabernacle of Hedonism in downtown Gainesville, Florida. Give us some tune. You have not missed David's magical hand dancing and Broadway singing.
No.
You have not missed the ferry.
No.
And you have not missed the Tabernacle of Hedonism choir. So there's a good bit of show for you to see. You'll enjoy. Oh, good. Welcome. It's a pleasure to see you here. We were just talking about Paul McCartney's admission that he circle jerked with John Lennon, and that while they were doing that, they were calling out names of famous people like Marilyn Monroe, whatever, and then John Lennon called out Winston Churchill and killed the vibe. This is a true interview in GQ magazine. It's not goofy shit I'm making up for the show. And that's about where we're at with the show now, so I would recommend having a drink.
Are you kidding? I'm not kidding. Talking about renal circle jerk. Yes. Oh, good. That's a true story. I just thought to the art theater. Oh, you got to see what's from the sort of. I don't think I can.
We're doing good.
Now those happy days, they seem so hard to find. I tried to reach for you, but you have closed your mind. Whatever happened to our life? I wish I understood. It used to be so nice, it used to be so good. So when you feel me down, can't you hear me? SOS. Love you gave me nothing but to save me. SOS. When you're gone, how can I even try to go? When you're gone, all the time I carry on. You seem so far away, though you understand me near. You make me feel alive, there's something that I feel. I really tried to make it out. I wish I understood. What happened to our love? It used to be so good. So I can feel the time, can't you feel it? The love you gave me, nothing else to save me. When you're gone, how can I even try to go? When you're gone, all the time I carry
You know, I just got my
All right. It's okay, David. Smoke your cigarette. Where's the fairy mug? Where's the fairy mug? I love that thing.
It might be here.
All right, are we still broadcasting in New Jersey, Reverend?
Yes.
Okay, good news.
Hey, New Jersey!
How many viewers do we have?
Alan, can you call next door and have them turn the music up? I can still hear myself. No, not really.
No.
You're gonna miss the sound from next door and all the lovely people, all right? That place went downhill when they got rid of the mechanical bull.
Yeah, but they kind of redeemed themselves when they started tasing.
Oh, yeah, I like tasing people. Yeah, you're right, good point. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to downtown Gainesville, home of the Fighting Gators and the Brain Institute. This is the Reverend Angel Dust Tabernacle of Hedonism with your host, Tom Miller. I am the aforementioned Miller. You're probably wondering why I'm wearing that silly hat. And the reason why is because it makes me look like Neil Peart. And today is Neil Peart's 66th birthday.
Oh, that's 6'6".
Yes, and you either love Rush or you hate them. There's nobody in the middle, and that makes me a Rush fan just by default.
Hey, last week was Alan Sliceson.
I don't know about that day. Alex Slison's a fucking hell of a guitar player.
He's 65.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
He's tall.
Yeah, he's
Is he? Yeah. Getty, I mean, you know,
Getty's the oldest.
a little man with long hair that sings like a witch in rock and roll. I'm into that. Why not?
My uncle has a country place.
I've seen him about 15 times.
You know that song? Tom Sawyer, just if that's all they wrote, they would be great. I mean, I know they fucked up after they got successful. Yeah. And I'm not picking on Canada, Reverend. Reverend's from Canada. Hey, by the way, here's a funny thing about tonight's show. Tonight's show is actually the theme of the show, and our themes never work out, and we don't really give a shit about the themes. We just pick fucked up shit. But our theme tonight was Cowboy's birthday. Our main person that comes to the show, he's pretty much on staff at this point. He sings 3 songs. He's been singing the same 3 songs for 3 or 4 years now. So we know what he's going to sing, but it's always new and different. And then we throw a birthday party for him, nowhere to be found. I know. And there's no cow. Yeah, well, he's unpredictable. And I like that.
You can't take him inside.
You can't take him inside, you can't put him out.
He'll be along sooner or later.
Cowboy is Cowboy. If he wanders in here, I will consider this show blessed because we love Cowboy. Any person that has stabbed somebody else in Gainesville and knows what that experience is and comes out of that experience better, you know, that's a friend of mine. Because he'll stab somebody for me. And I want that guy in my crew.
I stab my own self.
Yeah. Well, that's why you're on the crew.
I think we've all.
Yeah. You either stab the enemy or you distract the enemy by stabbing yourself while I run and escape like a little worm. I said worm just because I knew you were here. But he spells worm with an E, worm. Hey, you've got to check out this performer right here. I ought to have you come up and do one more. Would you be willing to do one more? These are special friends. You know, they come in, you know, with, I'm not going to say who, because I can't say, you know, because I don't want any trouble. But think about maybe doing one, okay? But let me get to the show at hand. He's amazing what he does. Very original. Ladies and gentlemen, I've adjusted the show just for you, since you're here. I've adjusted it a little bit. If you will hang out at the show for the next half an hour, that's all I ask. I'll give you a half an hour of concentrated Tom Miller, Reverend Angel Dust, hardcore Tabernacle shit.
With good trivia.
Yeah. You will so get your money's worth. I promise you.
All the money we spent.
Everything you paid to get in here and these $2.25 beers, I'm going to give that all back to you in spades. You're going to be unbelievably impressed with what I give to you for our admission price, which is... What you talking about, girl? What you talking about? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage for a recap and mini sermon for our special friends who got off the bus and came here to bless our show. Please welcome to the stage the original, one and only, Reverend Angel Dust. Give him a round of applause! The Reverend Angel Dust! The Reverend Angel Dust! That was exciting.
Hallelujah!
Hallelujah!
God has blessed everyone. Hallelujah. Why is the sacred dumpster important?
Why is the sacred dumpster
Why?
important?
Because we can find absentee ballots there in 2020 and take them over to the tin box over at the voter office on Main Street, and we can deposit them there so that we can legalize marijuana in 2020.
Hallelujah.
So that's going to be on the ballot. Now you may ask, what are we going to do in the meantime on November 8th? We're going to write in our favorite candidate for governor, marijuana.
Is this the show?
As you know, in the Gainesville Sun this morning, on the opinion page and the editorial, it said that we should choose our gubernatorial candidate not based on party, religion, affiliation, race, creed, gender, or whatever. It should be based on their stance on water issues. Not only can the 40-foot marijuana trees, which are around, grown around your dumpster swimming pool in your backyard. As you know, if dumpsters, when closed properly, when filled up with water, will make a very nice swimming pool.
Yeah,
And they will
everybody
hold-
knows that.
And when we are naked and smoking marijuana,
If we're swimming in a dumpster?
Yeah, swimming in a dumpster. In Jumba's holy dumpster.
Oh my.
Yes, that's right.
we are promoting peace.
Yes.
In fact, by doing so, we are preventing wars.
Correct. Correct.
And those 40-foot marijuana trees growing around your dumpster swimming pool provide privacy.
Yes. And marijuana apples.
And marijuana apples, of course. Thank you. And Delta 9 cannabinoids.
Yes, Sala, the best of all.
Which are also found in gummy bears.
Right. More of that in the river. More of that in the river.
I looked up an Abbott scientific article, and it said that gummy bears actually have Delta 9 cannabinoids.
Put them in your ice cream.
Gummy, baby. Gummy.
So they also have Delta 11 cannabinoids.
Can I
And
expound?
Just a moment.
When you metabolize Delta 9 in your liver, it converts to Delta 11. So we're both right. We're there.
They're both right. Commonality in the church. Yes.
All right.
We're all right.
We can prevent war by metabolizing Delta 9 cannabinoids
Yes.
into Delta 11 cannabinoids.
Now we're getting somewhere. Gummy bears.
How many gummy bears?
That's the main thing is gummy bears.
And as I mentioned, we are preventing global warming with industrial hemp by growing it next to the biomass plant instead of 60 miles away, which means less fossil fuels needed to transport the biomass to the biomass plant.
Hallelujah.
Also, the stalks of marijuana, which are grown in greenhouses with lots of pond water and Miracle Grow, can be ground up and used for fertilizer on people's lawns.
Yes. And Reverend, correct me if I'm wrong, but we want marijuana stocks to go up.
Right.
The hell does he do that?
Marijuana stocks in Canada are right now going up.
I know.
Adding to the
Canada's
GDP.
leading the way.
That's right.
And I am so sorry about that.
Okay, great.
Can you feed them to livestock?
What's the question?
Can you feed them to livestock?
Can you feed Canada to livestock?
No, the stock.
Woo!
The stock.
Can you feed the stalks of the cannabis plant to livestock?
Yes, you can, and you can get more fertilizer. That way.
Okay.
And will the cows be happier because they'll be high?
Right.
Yes, great.
And the milk will have cannabinoids in it.
Correct. And then we can have gummy cows.
Yay!
Gummy cows! Gummy cows!
All right. And of course, all of these nurseries conserve water by recycling their water through ponds.
I'll recycle your water.
Yeah, right.
Hey.
That sounds like an offer.
Tone down the giggling, people.
That's what I always do.
We've got
Of course,
somebody,
the
audience, a little fussy.
okay. Of course, we make the water sterile with ultraviolet rays and by ozonating it. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Good stuff.
So we are actually, marijuana is actually addressing water conservation issues here in Florida. Hallelujah. So feel as if you are taking the advice of the Gainesville Sun and voting for the water correct candidate, marijuana, this November 8th and the prior weeks before, early and often, many times, with your dead relatives, all of your feral cats, your squirrels, your raccoons, your parmesioids, amoeboids, and strands of DNAs and nucleotides. They all look.
Who are we voting for?
Marijuana.
Marijuana.
No, but who is marijuana?
That's a good question, but we'll find that out after we elect marijuana.
I will go to the polls for marijuana.
Yes. Hallelujah.
Marijuana.
You want Gillum, Marijuana.
Yeah.
By forcing the election into runoff and continuing to force the election into runoff, we are actually going to be blackmailing the state into legalizing marijuana.
Ethical voter fraud.
Hey, wouldn't that be a joint candidate?
Thank you. All right, Reverend, thank you. The Reverend Angel Dust.
Amen.
Amen.
A woman,
A
a
woman.
Delta 11 cannabinoid.
The Reverend Angel Dust, ladies and gentlemen, give him a round of applause. Now, he did that just for you. You heard. He tore his voice up doing the opening, so he went on there and did that for you. If you have any questions for the Reverend Angel Dust, you can always talk to the Reverend Angel Dust in person or find him at thereverendangeldust.com. Just kidding. I don't think he has that site. But he is online.
And he is here usually.
Yeah, and he's the real deal. He's actually a human being that lives in our neighborhood that we can talk to face like normal people.
Yeah.
So, not that I'm saying you're normal. I would never insult you.
What about Instagram to keep up?
Yeah. Oh, hey, Reverend, Instagram. That's what the kids are doing. Get on Instagram right away.
That'll be the easiest.
Yeah, kids are doing that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now you must be blessed by the official Tabernacle Fairy. She just showed me her Tabernacle mug this evening, privately, and it was amazing. I mean, it had lots of color,
It's a very private event.
and it was lovely. Ladies and gentlemen, the Tabernacle Fairy!
Work that one! Work that one!
Thank you. I like having him here, Tom. Can
Yeah,
we
he's
have him
very,
every week?
I can't afford him. You don't have
Gosh
any
darn
money?
it.
I'd love to have him every week.
Well, he works in Gainesville, you might.
Yeah.
So, as I've said before, I'm a fairy. I'm very open about my fairiness. So please feel free to ask me anything. My pronoun is fairy. And my wand, can you tell that I broke it? Can you tell that? What the hell? You telling me to show my breast again?
No, I said the fart dust.
Fart?
Fairy dust.
Fart dust. Very dust.
Oh, when I fart, a little burst of rainbow appears over my head. Exactly. And it smells like strawberry.
Yeah. I hope
I've been told.
I hope that happens tonight. So yeah, you broke your wand. What happened, Mary?
Well, I broke my wand because I'm a very irresponsible fairy. I couldn't afford to make a new one, so I had to repair this one with modifications.
Oh, look at it. Oh my God.
Fairy nunchucks.
That's amazing. Don't fuck with the Tabernacle Fairy.
Okay, and I have one last thing because I'm ready. Well, actually, I don't have my wand here. Well, oh wait, I do have my
That is your wand.
Wait, it's right here. If anybody has a wish that they would like me to grant, I do pro bono grant with wish granting as part of my continuing fairy education. So I have to do certain credits.
I'm
So
trying to
does
overcome-
anyone have a very,
My wish is to overcome erectile dysfunction.
Oh my God, so
okay, we have
I can vouch.
a gentleman
Me too, I
who
want
needs
that.
to overcome. Isn't there like horny goat weed or something that you can take for that?
Spanish fly.
Spanish fly? That doesn't
Oh my God.
exist.
Get out of the
That does
70s.
not exist. It's a myth. It's one of those myths. And if you think that warming liquid, thank you. If you think that warming liquid is good for the nether regions, you have another thing coming.
What do you mean by that?
What is that?
Thank you, thank you. That's
I
my,
don't know what warm liquid is. I mean, like, I understand some of the warm liquid.
I'm getting nervous.
can you just bless our lymph dates and move
Oh,
on?
okay, so anyway, so let's bless this man for an end to his,
Drug addiction.
what did Bob Dole call it? Okay, hold on a second.
More injury.
Got it.
I'll be right back.
ED.
Whatever you call it.
No. Okay.
You will be erect.
Yeah.
He is risen.
Great stuff.
Thank you, everyone. I'm here every Wednesday. Thank you.
Yes.
Don't forget to tip your bartender
Yes.
How much?
and your MC.
A lot.
How much do you charge?
How much do I charge? For what? What do you want?
For granting wishes?
It's pro bono. As I said, it is free.
That's a low price.
I can do my own sound effects, thank you, except for the wand. Can you do that again? Please.
Do you wish it?
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, well, I have one last bit, but,
Oh, go.
oh, wait a
Don't
second.
worry, don't
Okay,
worry.
well, it's not really a bit. I've been practicing. And I don't know, I'm feeling really nervous now, so I don't know if I'm going to actually be able to do it this time.
I believe in you.
You got this.
Thank you.
We all
You're so
believe in you.
kind.
Why?
You're so
Why?
kind. Because you know what I was going to do? Oh, okay. All right. I'm going to do it now. Okay. I have to put down my wand. Okay. This is my rendition of Funky Town on a touch-tone phone.
Yes.
Funky Town.
I heard it. It was amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
I heard it.
Have a good night. If there are any no more wishes,
Tabernacle.
hey, I'm not on the balcony smoking a cigarette. Come and get me. I'll hook you up with a wish. Don't worry.
Tabernacle Ferry, everyone. I love the way you redone your wand. Way ahead of the curve with wand design, as you may have seen. Yes. Wanda's offensive and defensive weapon. Yeah, isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? He's gonna be so erect now. This is great. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to do this correctly. First of all, let me just figure this out. I'm just gonna make an executive decision here. One of the greatest things about the Tabernacle of Hedonism is something we like to call Wassermania. And John Wasser, we call him our political correspondent. He's pretty much on staff here, I think, at the Tabernacle of Hedonism. Been around a long time. He also sings in French, if you're lucky. If you're lucky. So we'll see how that goes. And he also likes to report on his take on what's happening in the world of politics, even though, you know, most bars are like, please don't talk about religion, please don't talk about politics. We in the Tabernacle believe that bars were actually designed, and coffee shops were actually designed to talk about religion and politics. We just do it in the most extreme fucked up way so that nobody can take anybody seriously. I mean, we're absurdists to the core. That's what we do. The question in the
I
front.
request.
Yes, there's a request. Ooh, wow.
Some 9/11 politics.
Some kind of what?
Some 9/11 politics.
9/11 politics, all right? So Wasser, you heard that. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe he has a Wassermania t-shirt available. He also has books which deal with, I'll let him explain it because I don't even understand what it is, but it's books about paranormal weirdo sex things that happen. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, I'll let Wasser explain Wasser. I don't explain Wasser. Wasser explains Wasser. Please welcome to the stage John Wasser, and we like to call him here at the Tabernacle, a.k.a. Wahoo! Wahoo, our political correspondent, Wasser Mania!
This is a political t-shirt that I'm wearing, having a problem right now with a corrupt state's attorney. So I created a t-shirt in his honor. What's his name? Sean Thompson, up in Lake Butler. He thinks he's a judge, but he's not. 4 and 20 blackbirds baked in a pie. When the pie was open, the birds began to hump. Wasn't that an appropriate dish to set before King Trump? Have you seen the Young Turks video series about 45's response to questions about Brexit? Phew, he does get carried away. WhatTheFuckJustHappenedToday.com has some interesting news this week. The Department of Homeland Security diverted nearly $10 million from FEMA to help ICE pay for detention and removal operations. A newly released budget document shows DHS diverted the funds from FEMA at the beginning of the hurricane season, which began in June. The money was taken out of FEMA's operations and support budget and was transferred into ICE accounts to pay for additional detention camps and other expenses. Spokesperson for DHS pushed back on Twitter, under no circumstances was any disaster relief funding transferred from FEMA to immigration enforcement efforts. This is a sorry attempt to push a false agenda at a time when the administration is focused on assisting millions on the East Coast facing a catastrophic disaster. Right. 3/4 of the secret money spent in recent elections came from just 15 groups. An analysis by the Campaign Finance Reform Group, Issue 1, found that many of these same 15 groups remain big players in the 2018 midterm elections, although the sources of their money remain mostly hidden from the public. The Trump administration is making it harder for Christian refugees to enter the United States. Despite Trump's promise to help vulnerable Christians around the world, many groups remain in legal limbo while they await a decision of their fate, including a group of Iranian Christians waiting in Austria. The number of Christian refugees allowed to enter the U.S. has dropped by more than 40%, roughly 11,000 refugees over the last year. And from another source, Trump recently commented on Chinese President Xi Jinping's recently consolidated power. Trump told the gathering, he's now president for life, and he's great. Trump added, I think it's great. Maybe we'll give that a shot someday.
Oh God, that's fucking disgusting as shit.
I went in to see Robert Rush today. Hadn't heard from him in 2 weeks, so I stopped in today. Was told if I waited, Jacob would be back from lunch and I could speak with him. But instead, Robert himself came over and gave me a few minutes of his time. And boy, is he ever looking good. Whew! He specifically said that he had actual experience in cases where people's driveways had been closed off. He gave me an appointment right after lunch on Friday. As I was leaving, he said that after all these years, it was good to see that I am still as feisty as ever. I met him 30 years ago when I was looking for an attorney to handle a legal malpractice case involving a real estate transaction. He wanted to take it if George Schaefer would co-chair, but George, who played volleyball with me once a month, oops, where am I at here?
No.
This is not the device I usually use because I found the screen on that thing was cracked tonight. George wanted to stick to civil rights cases and refused to cooperate. If Robert takes my case this time, the state's attorney who ordered my driveway closed isn't going to know what hit him. Here's a song that was sung by a Miss America contestant, and it took her to victory. Maybe I'll get some kind of benefit from it too. I had the sheet music to this back in the 1950s. I believe for every drop of rain that falls, a flower grows. I believe that somewhere in the darkest night, a candle glows. I believe for everyone that goes astray, someone will come to show the way. I believe, I believe, I believe above the storm, the smallest prayer will still be heard. I believe that someone in the great somewhere hears every word. Every time I hear a newborn baby cry, or touch a leaf, or see the sky, then I know why. I believe. And for my anti-war song, here's something by Phil Oakes. Silent soldiers on a silver screen, framed in fantasies and dragged in dream, unpaid actors of the mystery. The mad director knows that freedom will not make you free. And what's this got to do with me? I declare the war is over. It's over. It's over. Drums are drizzling on a grain of sand, fading rhythms of a fading land. Prove your courage in the proud parade. Trust your leaders where mistakes are almost never made. And they're afraid that I'm afraid. I'm afraid the war is over. It's over. It's over. Angry artists painting angry signs use their vision just to blind the blind. Poison players of a grisly game. One is guilty and the other gets to point the blame. Pardon me if I refrain. I declare the war is over. It's over. It's over. So do your duty. boys, and join with pride. Serve your country in her suicide. Find a flag so you can wave it goodbye. But just before the end, even treason might be worth a try. This country is too young to die. I declare the war is over. It's over. It's over. One-legged veterans will greet the dawn, and their whistling marches as they mow the lawn. And the gargoyles only sit and grieve. The gypsy fortune teller told me that we've been deceived. You only are what you believe. And I believe the war is over. It's over. It's over.
God bless her, ladies and gentlemen. Wahoo. Wassermania. Thank you very much. Now, are you enjoying the show?
Oh my God, yes.
Okay. I'm going to do, if you'll stay with, are you leaving? And you have to go? Oh, bathroom. Okay, we'll wait for you. We'll wait for you. I'm catering to you. I'm catering to you. While we're waiting for them to go to the bathroom, I'll play you a little song. And then, by the way, Tapeworm has agreed to play one more song. You have to hear Tapeworm, and then immediately after Tapeworm, we're just going to break out our Broadway guy who's been doing the special effects all night, because that's going to be your big finale. If you stick around for that, you'll be your 10, 15 more minutes. You'll get the whole thrust of the show, and then, we'll go from there and see how it feels.
We're gonna join it.
I'm glad you're here. It's a real honor. I can also announce that a play I'm directing, written by Michael Presley Bobbitt, just got back from Off-Broadway and is now showing at the Crosstown Repertory Theater, which has a 5-star rating on Facebook, will be the biggest selling of all the plays I've ever done. That's already happened.
Incredible, unbelievable.
Extend the show?
No, I don't think so. It's also that they might extend it. I don't know. I'm only the director. I've already done my job. Well, I don't have control of that. All right.
I have some friends with.
And there are other plays. I would try to get tickets. I would try to get in, because what you're going to see now is just this. These guys are amazing. But I want to tell you, at midnight tonight, and it's after midnight. At some point today, in Scene Magazine, Ron Cunningham's review will post. He went there last Sunday to see the show. And so we can see the review live and see if he loved the play or if it sucks. If he loved the play, Michael Presley Bobbitt is a genius. If the play sucked, I am the worst director on the face of the earth. And that's how you do it. Thank you.
No.
Any requests? I'll do one request. What do we got?
Blue Moon. Moon River.
Moon River, stick me in the eye.
Stick it in now. Yay.
Hey,
I can do that one. Yes. I'd like to play a little song.
10-foot penis.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
We all want to be afraid all the fucking time.
Yes. Yeah, this is a song. This is a song about. Is this even on?
Has it ever been in tune?
Okay, so this is a song about friends and stuff. You know, this is a song about friends. You all seem to be very good friends here. And friendship is the most important thing that you can have. So I was going to play my song about fucking a sheep, which is a really good one.
Come on.
But instead for you, I'd like to play this.
There's a love.
I can love you now. and I can love you then, here and there and anywhere. I'm saving you till the end. And don't you wonder why you're more than just a friend. So don't come with me now, 'cause I'm saving you till the end. I didn't ask for loving, didn't ask for pain. You gotta keep on waiting till I get to you again. Whoa. I see you in the distance, a kiss to you I send. And since you don't mind waiting, I'll save you till the end. Okay.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Jimmy.
I was gonna play a dirty one, but then I thought that'd be what you expected, and so I had to play something nice. However, we don't know what to expect when Tapeworm takes the stage. Tapeworm has agreed to do one song. This is standing room, special occasion only. Oh my God, they just go to the bathroom.
We're girls, it's sad, but we love you.
Alan, put in an order for a box of pee pads. Just kidding.
Just kidding.
For all the bitches in the room.
I am the only bitch in this room right now, okay, so.
Listen, young lady.
I like her, bring her back. Anyway, so Tapeworm, never heard him before. He's been around town a long time. He's never played the Tabernacle before. But what he does is, I think, quite unique, and I think you'll like him. And he, Tapeworm, I'm giving you the limit of one song, so you gotta pick the winner. Plus, also, he's playing on kind of a beautiful little, it's a bit of a mini guitar, isn't it? Like a player guitar a traveling kind of guitar, isn't it? Is that a straight tuning?
Yeah.
Oh, man. But this is a serious artist, He was here like at 8:30 ready to go. Stuck around the whole time, and when he started playing, I said, oh shit, this guy was born to be in the Tabernacle, and we were born to be that church that he found. So, by church, I mean.
Amen.
Open mic show, so amen. All right, so we waited for you, so give him your respect. Please welcome to the stage for a command performance, one song, In and Out, Tapeworm. That's worm with an E. I think he wants to be down here with you, so we'll send him up down here. Unless you want to rest here. You can get where you want, Lord. Yeah, you want to connect with your audience? They're pretty much there. All right. So I'm going to set this up just the way we had it before. Something like that. By the way, I'm a Kennedy Center nominee in sound design. So if anything sounds terrible, the Kennedy Center doesn't know what to do.
Okay, the theme is Cowboy's birthday.
Yeah, right. And Cowboy's not here, which is so wonderfully ironic.
He's out on the range. So I'm going to play a song about a guy named John Wayne, a clown. He's a clown from Chicago named John Wayne.
Right, watch this.
His sadistic father named him after himself, and John Wayne, if his upbringing could be blamed for the insane clown he became, the drunker, the meaner John Sr. got Junior dared not complain about the blood clot on his brain. Sometimes he's trapped out from the migraine. Soon the pain combined with shame was too much for one to contain. Under clown makeup, dressed up like he just stepped off a circus train. Out tracking made friends in high places on political campaigns. A sexual complex built on the guilt he felt might help explain why John Wayne put on an act just like a cop. His name was Jack, unlike Pogo the clown who laughed when even Jack John Wayne attacked. Also a construction contractor with a homemade torture rack, now meaning captured, put a handcuff to pass out and not come back. 33 to be exact, it's a sad matter of fact. At 9 remade John Doe's to decompose the bones for mix and stack. Pogo, the chlorophone clone, crack joke, described with the count of the downtown. In the crawl space of his house, a shallow graveyard. In the ground, a tinted death, astounded neighbors change their route to get around it. Unheard portrait sounds of victims' mouths were hit. The gangs were crowded by the time the plot unwounded. The source of the smell was found. John Wayne's crawl space was overcrowded. The whole clown's car was impounded. Thanks, sir, back. Thanks, Tom.
That's pretty amazing, right? You got some tunes right on social media somewhere you have to, and you play in bands. So give a round of applause. I mean, now that's some hardcore shit. I hate saying that that's what you're doing, but sometimes it's good to just skip the goods and dip out. But don't dip out. Stick around. I'll buy you a beer. Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, yeah, the way he plays is so incredible.
We need another.
Oh my God! I know you need another. That's why you don't get another. We don't do what anybody. We're not here to do what you want. If you want it, we're not doing it. That's what the Tabernacle is all about. But if you love it, you'll come back for more and tell your friends. And thanks for sticking around. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is. I'm telling you, I'm giving you the whole Megillah here. You know, the whole Megillah. I like that word. I know, and I'm catering to you. You came late. You totally disrespected the show, and I'm still catering to you. I'm still.
Nothing started until we came. Come on.
Oh no, we were doing just fine without you people.
You didn't feel like you were us and love us extra.
I love you. You know I love you. Are you kidding?
Thank you.
You know it. I love everybody. I'm actually a really nice person off the stage. But for tonight, we were doing just fine before you got. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I have two mics now. It's like two of me. You know what this reminds me of? The Beatles.
Oh.
Thank you. That's been a running joke all night. So anyway, check out that GQ article where your favorite heroes from the Beatles jerk off together. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome a superstar. Oh, by the way, Lady Chase is here. Lady Chase used to co-host the show with me, but after she got run over, she's pretty much just this now. But anyway, yeah, Lady Chase, an amazing drag queen, former Navy SEAL. This is all true. And Lady Chase was also a terrific comedian, which is why I can make fun of her death and put her in a shot glass and say thank you to David for bringing Lady Chase to the show, because we like to take Lady Chase around.
I get ashes.
Thank you, David.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like it.
Lady Chase. You'll hear more about Lady Chase from David, but Lady Chase likes to come out, see the shows, and perform. And that's what Lady Chase looks like in her other form, but now she's doing cosmic shows in space. Most of my co-hosts do suffer untimely deaths. Reverend, watch your back. And no, just kidding. Yeah, at some point I'm gonna have to watch my back because I've been in the game way too long. But anyway, thank you, Lady Chase. In all sincerity, Lady Chase was so funny, so talented, so such a good spirit. Lady Chase one time kept telling me she's a Navy SEAL, and I said, yeah, and I just kind of nodded, and I'm like, yeah, you believe that fantasy. Then I met Chase's brother, who's also a comedian, and wasn't he a SEAL too as well?
Army Ranger.
Army Ranger.
Yeah.
And one day, Chase said, hey, Tom, I want to do an act over at the UC along with your show tonight. I said, what are you going to do? And she said, well, I have a samurai sword that I brought with me. And I checked it, and it was so sharp, this thing could have cut heads off. It was really, really dangerously sharp. And Chase was swinging it around. And I said, what do you want to do? And Chase said, well, I'm going to take a lemon, and I'm going to throw it up in the air, and I'm going to unsheath this thing. I'm going to chop that lemon in half and have it back in the sheath before the two halves hit the ground. And I said, that doesn't seem like a good idea in a busy bar. You know, I think you might. I thought Chase would like lose control of the weapon and it would like go into some drag queen's eyeballs or birdseed titties or something. And I didn't know what was going to happen.
Well, now they have the metal detector, probably.
Right. Well, I said, at the time though, I said, of course, that sounds like a great idea to me. And do you know what happened? Exactly as she described. At which point I no longer doubted anything Chase said. And then later, well, you can read stuff I've written about Chase on my online blog, which I'm promoting. It's completely free. Yeah, Chase pulled the lemon out, threw it up in the air, unsheathed the samurai sword, put it back into the sheath, and two perfectly cut pieces of lemon fell to the side, and everybody in that bar went.
That's the greatest show that you've seen ever, so maybe.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So So in some ways, this show, as it continues along with the incredible Reverend Angel Dust, I've also been doing shows with the Reverend since 1984. So really, the Reverend's been the lucky one, and he was doing shows before I got here. So actually, he predates me doing shows and poetry readings and things like that. And I'm being completely serious now. I don't know why. And supporting this incredible plant, marijuana. I know we make fun of it, we act silly about legalizing it, but the minute government gets between you and nature, there's always a problem.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's all I'm going to say about that. But anyway, it's very much due to the Reverend Angel Dust, probably, that I even am in this business of doing a weird, wonderful show. And I don't care if I do it for 5 people. Most fun I ever had was with one other person. You could ask Paul McCartney and John Lennon. Let's keep going back to that. I love that. But the point I'm trying to get to is I have to introduce our next performer now, and he is extraordinary. And he's going to do 2 different things, I believe. One, and I get to push the play button. I get to be the sound guy. I'll let him tell you. And he's a serious guy. One is, and passionate, if I may say. One is, he has a beautiful voice. He will sing. That's why we call him Broadway Dave. So you'll hear that. But the second thing is, he also is a profoundly remarkable, we call him hand dancer. I'm talking sign language. So you're going to hear a song, and then you're going to see a song, and you're going to realize what an art form this is. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope that isn't too much, because you got to live up to that shit now. Please welcome to the stage the incredible Broadway Dave.
All right. Use this microphone ready to sing, so there's no echo.
Whatever you want.
I met Chase. Wires. I hate wires. I met Chase 21 years ago. Walked into UC, and I saw this guy sitting at the end of the bar wearing a pair of white cutoffs, strings hanging down, wife beater, and a red shirt, and I'm going, this guy is lost. I don't know very many people who come to a gay bar looking like that. He was the only one in there, so I got a drink. I sat down next to him. We struck up a conversation. Found out we both lived in Williston. Found out that I went to school with his sisters. And we became instant friends. When my mother was very, very sick, and I was unable to care for her any longer in the home. When she was finally put into a nursing home, he turned around and said, you know what, let's move to Gainesville. Let's get an apartment. I said, okay. We got an apartment. He started dating someone. I said, don't feed the dog. She'll keep coming around. She still kept coming around. They got married. He basically adopted her daughter. Then they had a daughter of their own. Ups and downs, lefts and rights. I moved away and came back. They moved away and came back. But I will tell you this. You've heard the phrase, he would give you the shirt off his back. Until I saw Chase actually take his shirt off over the laboratory, take his shirt off and give it to someone whose shirt was tattered and torn so much that there was no shirt there. I'd never even seen that. Never. I used to introduce her to the stage. I'd say the age, I'm going to use the age she was when she passed. 43-year-old ex-Navy SEAL, bisexual, psychotic, schizophrenic, trashy drag queen from the pits of hell.
Amen. Amen.
I threw Trashy in there because at night she was a drag queen. During the day, she drove a trash truck. Hey, you got to earn a living.
An actual trash truck.
Yeah.
That's true.
For waste management.
Yes.
They make.
Yeah. Real deal.
Yeah. I wasn't really going to talk a lot about Chase, but we started talking about Chase, so I'm talking about Chase. But I will tell you this, that was 2011 he passed. So that's 7 years ago, coming up this October 25th. And, to this day, we were not blood brothers. We were not step brothers or half brothers. We were brothers by friendship and camaraderie. And I have never missed my own family, my own biological family. I've never missed anyone more than I've missed this guy right here. And to this day, I'll still see something on TV or something online, and I'll say, oh, I need to tell Chase about this. Or I'll have a dream and I'll wake up and it's like, oh, Chase would have loved that dream, or something to that effect. The one song I could probably never do, and you notice I haven't done it since that time, is anything from Tarzan. Chase and I performed Tarzan together the last Tabernacle at the laboratory before his accident. So that's one thing I don't think I could ever do, is do another Tarzan here.
I was there that night.
You were there that night, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Why did I do this before I start singing? I don't know.
So you can give these fine people the best show of their lives. That's why.
Yeah. He was a very passionate person, but he was a very strong person. Didn't wear his emotions too much on his sleeves, especially sappy emotions. The first time I ever saw him cry, we took his adopted daughter to go see The Lion King at the theaters when it came back. And it got to the part where Mufasa died. And I looked over and one tear just rolled down his cheek. The one thing I always wanted to do with him is to take him to New York, which he would have hated. But he would have loved to have gone see The Lion King on Broadway. So, I don't know, is he on, Robert?
Yes.
Is Robert on?
Yes.
Oh, is Robert on?
I don't know.
This is for you, Robert, if you're on. If you're not
Robert, if you're on, this song is for you.
Otherwise, see it tomorrow, Robert. It's on Facebook forever.
Well, it's for you anyway, Robert, but it's also for Chase.
Ready, darling?
Yeah.
We got you.
All right, go ahead. Know that your powers of retention are as wet as a warthog's necktie. But thick as you are, pay attention. My words are a matter of pride. It's clear from your vacant expression. The lights are not all on upstairs. But we're talking kings and successions. Even you can't be caught unawares. So prepare for a chance of a lifetime. Be prepared for sensational news. A shining new era is tiptoeing nearer.
And when do we reach it?
Just listen to teacher. I know it sounds sordid, but you'll be rewarded when at last I am given my dues. And injustice deliciously square. Be prepared.
It's great that we'll soon be connected. Gonna keep moving all time adored.
Of course, critical quo, you're expected to take certain duties on board. The future is littered with prizes, and though I'm the main embassy, the point that I must emphasize is, you won't get a sniff without me! For the century, be prepared for the murkiest scare. planning, tenacity spanning, the gate of denial is simply why I'm between undisputed, respected, saluted, and hateful wonder I am. Yes, my teeth and ambitions are bare. Be prepared. Yes, my teeth and ambitions are bare. Be prepared.
Okay, what do I do now? Just gonna keep going. Okay. Now, magical hand dancing. Check this out, y'all. This is visual.
I hope it's gonna
Hopefully.
You would not believe your eyes. 10 million fireflies lit up the world as I fell asleep. Cause they fill the open air and leave teardrops everywhere. You think me rude, but I would just stand and stare. I like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly. It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep. 'Cause everything is never as it seems. 'Cause I get 1,000 hugs and 10,000 lightning bugs. 'Cause they tried to teach me how to dance. A foxtrot above my head, a sock hop beneath my bed, a disco ball that's just hanging by a thread. I'd like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly. It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep. 'Cause everything is never as it seems. Keep my door open just a crack. Please take me away from you. 'Cause I feel like such an insomniac. Why do I tire of counting sheep? But I'm far too tired to fall asleep. 10 million fireflies. Weird 'cause I hate goodbyes. I got misty eyes and they say farewell. I'll know where several are. My dreams get real bizarre. I saved a few and I keep them in a jar. I'd like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly. It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep. 'Cause everything is never as it seems. I'd like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly. It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep. 'Cause everything is never as it seems. I'd like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly. It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep. Because my dreams are bursting at the seams.
And the person who performed that, if you ever want to look up, I don't know if you've ever heard of him, his name is Sam Tsui, T-S-U-I. He is phenomenal. He's got a YouTube channel, and it's just wonderful. If you like songs like that that are redone in different manners, that's the person you need to look for.
Broadway, yay! Wow, that's two wonderful ways of expressing music, and I love it. Thank you, Broadway Dave. Are you leaving us, Michael? Any final thoughts from the Garvin land?
Are you gonna watch me?
Yeah, we're pretty much done. I mean, this act is usually only about 3 minutes. It's the end of the show. Won't you stay for the signature conclusion?
Yay!
It's been a remarkable show. Kind of 2 shows in one. A little bit meta. Nobody was at the Alligator to take our calls. If you go online to Gainesville.com, Scene Magazine, anytime near the date of this recording, you should probably see, hopefully, a very, very good review of the play. I love to say that because in case they're like, oh my God, this was the worst thing I've ever seen, it'd be funny in retrospect. But hopefully it's a good review. Yeah, do you want to look on Scene and see if we're there? Gainesville.com, Scene Magazine, Ron Cunningham. Did he love it? Did he hate it? Am I a good director? Is Bobbin a good writer? Is the cast amazing in their roles? I'm going to say yes because we're totally sold out, so fuck the critics. You can immediately go online and find however many tickets you need and see if they're available. If they are, I would RSVP them, and then I would get there very early to make sure you get good seats. But probably it's sold out.
So you can't hook up further up?
No, they threw me out as soon as I finished directing, I was done. No, nobody has power at the Across Town, despite what you may have read. Stupid. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I couldn't ever have a better person to conclude our show. He's passionate, he's rhythmic, he's impulsive, he's the real deal. He doesn't hold his tongue. He shouldn't have to hold his tongue. He's Indian on 2 different continents, and he's American, he's Canadian, he's everything. And he's also fucking fucked up and weird, which I love too.
Yeah!
Because he fits right in with my fucking paradigm, which is fucked up and weird too. And by fucked up and weird, I mean, when the world is getting so weird that when you come to the Tabernacle, this is like the most normal thing that happened in your day. Something's gone haywire. Somebody said haywire earlier. I really like that word, haywire. Something's gone haywire. Anyway, let's bring it to a spiritual close.
Sorry.
Was that for haywire? That's pretty good. It was a good try. I mean, give me something else. Give me something sweet. What have you got?
Oh, hell no, I'm fucked up.
Okay, that sounds right. That was the right sound cue. And then, the mystery of Cowboy. Where is Cowboy? We'll find out about Cowboy next week.
Happy birthday, Cowboy!
And Alan, you know what the worst part about Cowboy not coming was? I had 20 CDs printed and ready to give to him, and he didn't show up. I can't believe it. Oh well, maybe next week. That's a lie. I didn't have any CDs. Cowboy knew I didn't have the CDs. Here, I can do Cowboy. I guess you're wondering. You're wondering why a man would sing a lonely and sad song. You may see him coming up to you. He ain't a gangster or nothing like that.
Oh, that's so real.
He's just got pains in his heart. But I'm here to tell you, I can't do Cowboy.
Oh, you were doing great.
I was about to do some Michael Jackson.
No, you can't do a split like that.
No, I can't do Cowboy. Maybe hey, Alan could probably play Cowboy from the computer at the end of the night. But anyway, let's do that. Are we up? Is that the review?
Yay!
Oh, is it good? How is it?
It just says.
All right, let's leave it alone. What is it? What's the headline? Just give me the headline. We'll read it
Bring
after.
your Rotten Tomatoes. This show's a real blow.
This show sucks.
Sunset Village follows New York premiere with regional opening Friday.
Oh, that's not the review. That's just an old article. That's okay. All right. The suspense is still on. So here's the continuity for you next week. What happened to Cowboy? Was the review any good? Will the Tabernacle continue?
Yes.
And what's going to happen next week when the theme is Tom's favorite theme ever in the history of the Tabernacle? Reverend?
Lobster balls.
Oh, you don't want to miss that show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the entire Tabernacle of Hedonism Choir.
Hey, I'm here to do, I do a little bit of playing, and I'm going to talk about playing with yourself. So, this might be a little bit uncomfortable, but this is,
That's what we're here for.
you guys are in this show. I'm ready to go. So I'm gonna play a song for you first. It's called Walking Man. Because we walk and talk, do our own thing. Well, I walk and talk, I do my walk, I go across land. I do everything that I can. I'm trying to sound like a cowboy up here. Gonna get off and get in my gear. Come. Okay, this is my throwdown on my comedy act. Okay, this is a little bit uncomfortable.
Get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah. I want some participants to come up here and actually, after I'm done telling you my story, you tell me your story. I'm gonna point out some people and see if they will come up and actually come up here and say, okay. When I was a kid, my brother, he lived away from us in his apartment. He gives me this big bag, like a big paper bag. I said, what's that? And he says, it's pornos. And I had this big bag of pornos. And he says, you can only screw so many girls so many times. I got to get some new ones. And I was laughing at it. So I had all these pornos. So I decided to take them in the bathroom and spread them all out and see what kind of girl I wanted to go get. Yeah. So my mom walks in and I got this big thing of porn. So spread out. And I totally got I got the grease going and fake. I'm like, yeah. Everybody gets caught by their mom.
No.
Jacking. Everybody doesn't admit it. Yeah, man. People don't want to go there. They're like,
I have a 10-year-old son.
Yeah, my mom made me totally cut these things in her paper. Remember those old paper cutters?
No.
And she made me cut every single one of them all the way down. Can you imagine trying to paper piece those all together? You're like, what the hell? I can't paper, please. But, after that, I started waiting for Sunday to come along so you can get the bra and panties. You can wear the bra and panties. Like, oh, yeah. My mom would be at the bathroom door. I can hear those pages turning. And I'm like, I'm reading the Sunday paper. Let's see. You're looking at the bra and panties, and you just flip it over, and you're like, it happens. And I'm gonna. Can you come up and tell me a story about it? Come on. Nothing to be scared about.
How much time do we have?
Come on.
He said everyone gets caught by their mother.
Everybody gets caught.
Oh my God, you guys are so hard.
Hot
girl.
I was probably 16, 15.
I was about 50.
Girlfriend came over this time.
That's way better.
My mom and my little brother, it's probably about 8, 7 at the time. They had to leave to do something. And that gave us the house, Freetown. So as soon as they're gone, looking out the window, we're doing our thing. Clothes come off and moving.
Yeah. And then what happened?
Clothes come off, we're on the couch, doing our stuff, getting into it. And it's just getting into it. At like 15, it's like, it's really
A minute and a half.
Yeah. It's really intense by now.
I can see out of my periphery the window that is right next to our front door, and it's my mom. And a shadow passes, and I look and I see it's my mom. I bolt and leave my significant other at the time there sitting by herself. The pile of clothes. I go into the laundry room. She jumps behind the couch. I go into the laundry room and I close the door. My mom comes in and is asking, Zane, where you at? I know you're here. What are you doing? I'm in the laundry room changing clothes. She's like, where's Brittany? I'm like, Brittany's in there. I'm changing clothes. I don't know. Why would I know where she's at? And I hear my little brother just yell, I seen Brittany and she's naked. She's behind the couch. And I'm still in the room having the door closed.
Well done.
I want to hear Tom Miller's. Come on.
Yeah, I don't have.
I know you've been caught.
No, I've been caught. All right, so I was, a teenager, and I was having some fun with a carrot. And I'm an artist, so I fashioned it with a knife into a fairly realistic looking dildo. And then that happened, and I was like a teenager, I was 15 or something like that. And I forgot to throw it away. It was just in the house somewhere, in my room. And my parents had cleaning services. We had a maid that would come in. We loved her. We knew her. She was a Spanish maid, a very nice woman. I can't remember her name, but let's just say Henrietta. And when I came back to the room, realizing that this perfectly beautifully curved dildo that I made out of a fucking carrot, which had been places, was just laying around my room. I kind of went into my room and I opened the door in terror, and my room is beautiful. Everything has been picked up, cleaned, the spray, the smell is fantastic. And the one thing that wasn't in the room that I know I left in there and I didn't get rid of was that fucking carrot. And the maid never looked the same way at me ever again.
I'm going to play one more song and I'll get off. I'm not talking about Lillard again.
I am not ashamed of being a human being.
Neither am I. I like jacking off sometimes.
Hey, if it's good enough for the Beatles.
She loves you, yeah.
Yeah, sure she does.
Oh my gosh. Okay, this is not a dirty song. It's just something I like. I like to do I'll do as Indian sway.
Yeah.
And getting whistling one. hey. Everybody give me that. Hey. Come on. Hey. Now you got to sing with me. Hey. Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter if you stop. Doesn't matter if you kill straight. We got to come and be united. Thank you.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Can't believe I told you.
I'm sorry to hear you. Come on, man. Should get on the stage without.